I love Amber Chia. She's so cheerful. She's so chirpy. Whenever you're having, one of those down days, you just have a chat with her and you'll be like, wow, I'm up again.
Very cute statements coming from her.
Yeah, that's why her husband loves her, because she saves him a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say shopping can be bad. I mean, you shop things for free. It's not shopping, it's redeeming.
The more you shop, the more you save, it seems.
Yeah, the less hair the husband will have. Isn't that right, Murshidah?
But before that, we have a song for you, right?
Yep.
There's someone smuggling, and if you know about it, who do you call?
Royal Customs. Right, actually, we were having a chat with the Customs enforcement
If you have any
just now.
tip-off that you would like to share with them.
Yes, the number is 1-800-888855. Very easy to remember. 1-800-888855. If you suspect something funny is happening at the airport, or if someone's smuggling bad stuff, and you want to put a stop to it, do call them up. 1-800-888855. Don't be eating tigers or turtles now, man. I mean, stick to chicken and rice, or just go vegetarian.
Or grass. Would that be considered judging?
Yeah, that's the thing, because you know what? The thing is, I still believe that people judge no matter what we do. Whenever someone comes up to you and say, you know what, I think
that fella.
Yeah, that fella. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's just a matter of whether you voice them out or not. But let's talk about let's talk about this with Murshidah.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah, who are we to judge?
Yeah.
But we do judge, right?
Speaker, motivator, and trainer. Very good morning.
Good morning. How both of you?
We are good.
Surviving.
She's not
but
so
I'm okay.
good.
I'm trying to emulate the Amber Chia happiness right here.
We're all doing very well.
Yeah, so speaking of judging, because my friends once told me, no matter what, remember what you say, you will always have a certain perception towards certain things or certain people. So, what's your take on this?
You can't please everybody.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I'd like to quote from Mother Teresa, she said that when we judge people, we don't have time. I mean, if you judge people, she said, you have no time to love them. All right, and that's the reason why a lot of people judge each other. And sad to say, judging is like incorporated into our cultures. Do you notice that? How come, it has incorporated into people saying things about other people without knowing the full story. They assume. And it has also incorporated into our children, because, the adults that judge others, children will follow. And, you have the problem of teenagers bullying others. And that is also the result of people judging other people. So actually, why I wanted to address this topic on judging other people is because it is actually a very, very important issue in our society. It is actually can be very detrimental and very dangerous in our society if we are not aware of it. And then after that, people will try to say, the problem of bullying, the problem of low self-esteem, or the problem and all that. We start with ourselves first. When we judge other people, we are placing our perception of ourselves, right, our assumptions, our opinions, and our upbringing, our own conditioning onto others. And we say, okay, that is how everybody should be like, otherwise the world will be at peace if everybody is like me, right? Because that is how people judge other people. The reason a lot of psychologists or sociologists have also come up with about judging other people is, one thing is the lack of love. People do not know how to love, right? They know the word love. They say, they assume of love is about something else, about relationships and all that. It is not that. Love is actually a unconditional feeling. It is a love within yourself. If you're not loving yourself fully, you can't love other people. So people do not love. They don't know the concept of love, and that's why people judge. All right, there's lack of love in the world today. And the other thing is, a lot of people are insecure. They have this insecure or scarcity mindset, as we call it. That there's always not enough for me. There's if somebody else does better, right, or looks better, right, people will be like, there'll be less for me, less a pie for me. So that is why they judge other, or people condemn. It's the scarcity mindset, right? There's a lot of reasons about why people judge other people. And if we do not face this issue, and if we are not aware of this, it can go on and on to repercussions, and people will be saying like, why can't there be world peace? It all starts within. There's lack of love within, and that is why people do not give love without. Right?
Yeah, Murshidah. Some of us out there, we might not be aware, right, that our simple act of judging a person behind their back can actually be damaging. So maybe you can share with us the deep consequences of judging people.
Yeah. Relationships. Initially, relationships are always, when we judge people, relationships get strained. All right. We don't have to talk about strangers, for example. A lot of times people say, oh, that person is different from me. We judge them. We talk bad about this person, or you assume all people like that are of a certain type of people, you know, so you judge those people, right? So that one, it strains a relationship, all right? The worst is when we have strained relationships within our own families. How many parents actually judge their kids? You know, sometimes the child is going through some phase or is misunderstood. Right? I'd like to quote this story also from Stephen Covey. I think it's in his book, 7 Habits, when he said that there was a situation where a father was going out of a swimming pool with his son, and then they were on the way out, and the son happened to stop and stare at the swimming pool, looking at all the other kids like, without, you know, just staring. And the father got so upset. Come on, you know, we are going home now. What's wrong with you? And in the father's mind, he's thinking, why is my son so slow? Why is my son so stupid? I told him, you know, we have to hurry, and he's staring into space as usual. You know, but imagine what if in that the child, a counselor in the school actually says to the father, the child is a genius. Right? So the father's perspective would be different, right? Because of, oh, okay, he might be wondering what the child is thinking. So it's, again, a lot of times when people judge others, relationships get strained, all right? Social relationships get strained as well, you know, because we do not take time to understand the other person. We do not take time to understand the full story. And, you know, I've got a sharing, if I may, on homeless, because my husband also works with some homeless people. And he said sometimes you see a homeless person, you see a young man, you see a handsome man, and he's homeless and he's unemployed. First instinct, a lot of people say, why are you so lazy? Why can't you get a job? Do anything, I know what's wrong with you, right? But they don't know the problem being, even any job he takes, he will never pay for the medical fees that he still had to service for. The reason why he was out of job was because to take care of his parent, and after the parent died, he had to service that payment. So he can't find a home because he has to keep paying for medical bills and all the other expenses. So a lot of times people judge right away, say these people are useless, these people are lazy, without knowing the whole situation, right? And so that's why when we have love inside of us, if you see a problem or if you see something that you know, something's different, you know, we do not know the full story, we do not judge people. I think that's the best, not to judge people, right? Find out the story, and also to see how you can add value in whatever capacity that you can, right? Most people, right, because when we judge people, is the most people take responsibility away from themselves. They say like, okay, that's their problem, it's not my problem. Then you kutuk, you know, you say bad things about the other person just for the sake of judging.
No, that brought me to another thing. You know, when you read the headlines, and you know, there are cases when parents are being abandoned by their children, old age senior citizens, and you'll go like, what kind of a son are you? How could you leave your mom like that? So, you know, what goes through your mind when, you know, you see news like that?
Yeah, how can we not judge?
Right. Yeah. And everybody judges because of the history that you have, the social conditioning, your culture, your environment, everything that comes within, you judge. Oh, you know, you say, oh, the child is so, you know, not filial and all that kind of thing, right? But we don't know the full situation. So when we are in a state of awareness, because most people, they're not aware. And my courses, when I do my courses, it's to start off with that state of awareness first, you know. When people are aware, then they can want to decide to make what changes they want to do about that, right? Either you want to see how you can add value to that kind of problems, right? Or you want to raise and highlight that problem and say, okay, what can we do to solve these kind of problems, right? And instead of just judging, right? And if it really bothers you enough, what are the things that you can take to avoid this kind of problems happening? Instead of judging and scolding and criticizing and blaming, nothing happens.
Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah, which also, again, reminds me of another thing. You know, the society nowadays, well, not nowadays, this goes back 50 years ago. You know, you see a lady in a short skirt, you know, with her hair dyed, you know, blonde and brunette, and see, you know, those kind of...
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it just goes in people's minds, and we judge, right? Because why? We, for example, okay, we don't wear those kind of things if we're of a certain weight or whatever, right? So we judge. judge, and we say, oh, you know, other people shouldn't be wearing it like that as well. So again, it boils down to us. You know, some people will say, hey, she looks gorgeous in it, but another person will say like, oh my goodness, that is not the way, you know, how a person should dress. Again, when we criticize, it is a reflection of our own belief system and our own conditioning and our own past and even our own pains. When we have pains within, we will throw it out or blame it on another person, right? So when we are in that, once it crosses our mind that we are criticizing people, start being aware and say, why did I just do that? Is it something to do with my upbringing? Is it something to do with a past pain that I had, that somebody used to criticize me for wearing something like that and it felt so hurtful, and I do it on other people?
Quickly reflect as soon as you have bad thoughts.
Reflect on us. And I did this activity, and I have mentioned this on TV before, and I'd like to mention it again. And it is something that it took me about 2 years, almost 2 years, to reprogram myself. I did this for full 48 hours, where full 48 waking hours, do not criticize, do not blame, do not justify, right? And that took me almost 2 years, because full 48 hours means even a small thought that says like, you see somebody, you don't even say, but you think it, you cancel and you go back to zero. Full 48 hours. Waking hours, and not when you sleep. You sleep 10 hours, doesn't count. That waking hours, you know. Yeah, and that is how I had to reprogram myself. And even now, some things that I didn't even realize that I have some conditioning, you know, sometimes we tend to judge, and then that is when you start to step back, all right? So as long as we are living in a state of awareness and we make a choice to change and improve ourselves, that is how the world can improve. That is how we can improve.
Okay, so that maybe today, starting from today, every one of us watching this program should do this 48-hour activity, right?
Ken, I would love to hear from people, you know, how they go through this, because from my participants and my students, a lot of them come back to me and say, alamak, batal puasa already, you know, they say, oh, broke my fast already, you know, because
then you know what,
you just had a thought or something like that. So I'd like to see what other people face, you know, the challenges they face while doing this fasting.
No, because sometimes you know, you wanna, you know, okay, she's catching on my back now.
Super bug.
No, we do try to, you know, not think, but sometimes it doesn't come from within. It comes from outside as well. You know, you're trying to be zero today, and yet someone will really come and do funny things to your mind, and you know, then there goes your reset counter, and you will have to start everything from scratch.
And then you will think, it just takes a simple, yeah, correct. That's all it takes. Then you will be a participant of the judging process as well.
Okay, or maybe I'm justifying. You know, there goes my, you know, I'm off already, so I should like restart, reset. I get what you mean now. It's kind of difficult to go 48 hours straight with, you know, no judging.
As long as we make an effort, you know, that is when we are always in that state of awareness. Doesn't matter how long you go through this. Yeah, and always remember that thoughts are things. You know, whatever you think, it can become a reality. It will materialize. So be careful of the thoughts that you have. Right?
So always have good thoughts.
Yes,
you know, and you know, even if you're in a rut, I would say this is actually real, because whenever I'm in a rut, I always have good thoughts. I know I will say that it will be okay. It does get okay in the end. So.
I know what you think of. You think of the blue sandy beaches.
Yes, that is 3 days from now.
Exactly, I know.
Well, anyway, yep. You know, a final say on this to our society at large. You know, I know it's kind of hard not to judge, but baby steps that we can take, other than, you know, reflecting, but not many people reflect. In fact, they would justify, oh no, I'm right, because look at the way she's dressed. So, you know, what can we do
right now?
We'll start with that fasting. We'll start with that fasting. Baby steps, you know, that is one thing. If each and every one of us start with that fasting, full 48 hours, do not judge, do not criticize, do not complain, do not justify. Right? We start with ourselves first, and you will see the effect on yourself, and you will see the effect on the people around you, starting with your loved ones. You know, the people who are close to you will see that there is a change in you. All right, and remember this, I have this quote from Carl Jung, you know, he says, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding about ourselves, right? So why we are irritated with a certain kind of person or something is actually a reflection of ourselves, right?
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
It's our own pains, our own past pains, our own lack of self-love.
Yeah, and if you only love yourself, if you love yourself first, then only you can bring anyone else in. So, you know, you can't make people. I mean, you can't love people if you don't love yourself. You're only going to make him more miserable than you are. So,
yes, exactly.
Chicken and egg thing. Chicken and egg thing.
All right.
Thank you, Murshidah, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
For having
Please get well, right?
Root for me.
All right. Our prayers will be with you.
Yep. So we're going to be speaking to Francisca Pira shortly.
Right.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back.
33 years of
when
joy.
is the concert going to be held? What has she been up to? I'm sure everyone misses her. And, you know, if you keep on trying to sing her songs and you fail, well, you know, go to the concert and, you know, enjoy a live performance.
But this is not the time where those of you are hoping for tickets, right? Not that.
No.
Not that. All right. Anything else, please stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to have a chat with her. So, you know, stay with us. We're going to be back.